this is Aku. Thank you for listening to the first episode on greetings in Mongolian, and I appreciate every one of your feedback, and I will improve this podcast to be more effective and fun for you guys to learn Mongolian, so keep them coming. And one quick note is that I have a web page with podcast notes for each episode, so check it out for summary of each episode and references. And if you find this helpful, please share with your friends and family and your colleagues. So on this episode, I will continue the discussion of meeting someone new or some of your relatives or your friends. And after you say your greetings, you will need to introduce yourself. So I will give you how to introduce yourself and also a few sentences to continue your discussion. So, just like every language, once you say hello, you want to introduce yourself, your name, your age, where you're from, etc. So let's start with introducing your name. So in English, we can say, I am John. My name is John. So even for the similar sentence, there's two ways to say it. So let's start with I am John. The equivalent of I am John in Mongolian would be Namek Jong Gitik. Namek Jong Gitik. So Namek is the same as I, and Gitik is equivalent to am. And if you notice, the verb comes all the way at the end of the sentence instead of English, where the verb is right after the subject. So instead of saying, I am John, the sentence structure is like, I, John, am. Namek Jong Gitik. So my name is John, on the other hand, would be Mini Nirig Jong Gitik. Mini Nirig Jong Gitik. So similar to the sentence structure again, instead of saying my name is John, the Mongolian way to say it would be my name John is. So Mini is mine or my, Nirig is name, with a directional additive towards the end of the actual word for name, which is nir, and John, and Gitik is also same for am, is, or are. So Mini, Nirig, Jong, Gitik. And if you remember from the last episode, there are fancy way to say name, which is called alter, if you remember that. So we asked someone, Tani alter himbe. Tani alter himbe. This was more respectful and more traditional way to ask somebody's name. So you might hear someone say, Mini alter Jong. Mini alter Jong. And sometimes in Mongolian sentences, you don't necessarily say the am, is, or are, the to be words, because it is assumed. So even in the sentence, it's not there. So in Mongolian, this sounds like my name John, and there's no is or are. Mini alter Jong. So once you say your name, after that you might want to say, oh, this is where I'm from. So let's just assume John, in our example, is from America. So you can say, I'm from America, or you can say, I'm American. It's pretty much the same. Sometimes it can be different. So if you want to say, I'm from America, you would say, Bi Amerikas irsin. Bi Amerikas irsin. So, and another sentence structure exercise again would be, instead of saying I am from America, we just say I, America, from come. So B means I, Americas means from America, and notice that the from word is part of the word in Mongolian. And Ishsung means came from or am from. It is equivalent. And Irich is the word for coming or from. So B, Americas, Ishsung. B, Americas, Ishsung. Or you could say, I'm American, right? Because it implies that you are from there and that's your nationality. So if you want to say it that way, you can say B, Amerik Hung. B, Amerik Hung. And in Mongolia, it's a little bit different than how we say it. We say I'm American, and the word American implies that this person is American person, right? So the person is already assumed in there, and we just don't say it explicitly in English. But in Mongolian, we say it explicitly. So B, Amerik Hung. B is I, America is America, and Hung is person. And again, the am is, the to be is assumed in Mongolian sentence, so it doesn't exist in the sentence. So literally in English, it's saying I, American person. So B, Amerik Hung. So that's how you will say, this is my name, and this is where I'm from. Hi, I'm John. I'm from America. Sano, namak John gitig. B, Amerikas ishsung. Alright, so once you say your name and where you're from, you want to say, oh, it's nice to see you. It's nice to meet you. Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, etc. So there are several ways to say similar things in English, so I'll give you those versions in Mongolian. So if you want to say, it's nice to meet you, so you will say it to someone you just met, right? So if you want to say that, you'll say 텐те танилцсанда таатай байна. 텐те танилцсанда таатай байна. 텐те танилцсанда таатай байна. So 텐те means you, танилцсанда means meeting, таатай means nice, байна means is. So you already noticed the words are a little bit tossed around within the sentence, but bear with me. 텐테 танилцсанда таатай байна. Or there's another word for meet, which is уулзах. So you can say тантай уулзсандаа таатай байна. Тантай уулзсандаа таатай байна. And there's another similar word for nice to meet you, or nice. So we're saying tate for nice, but we can also say baishte, means you're very happy and cheerful, literally. So you can say 텐테 уулзсандаа баяртай байна. 텐테 уулзсандаа баяртай байна. So you can say that. So far we can say, hi, my name is John, I'm from America, it's nice to meet you, in Mongolian. Altogether, it sounds like Sano, namag John гэдэг би Америкаас ирсэн, тантай уулзсандаа баяртай байна. Alright, so once you say that, the sky's the limit on what you want to share. But I'm guessing if you're actually traveling from somewhere else to meet that person in Mongolia, you might say, so yeah, it's been 5 days since I came, and I'm here for vacation or I'm here for business. right? So that's a high possibility that you might say that. So let's dive into how to say these two sentences. So let's say that you wanted to say, yeah, so I came to Mongolia, it's been 5 days, right? So in Mongolian you want to say Би Монголд ирээд 5 хонож байна. Би Монголд ирээд 5 хонож байна. So, be is I, Mongold means in Mongolia, irээд means came in past tense, tau is 5, honoj ben means literally means staying, but in our purposes, the English translation would mean it's been. So in English, it means it's been 5 days since I came to Mongolia. So, Bi Mongold irээд 5 хонож байна. Or let's say you've been in Mongolia for a while, but you travel to some other city and you're meeting someone in that specific city. So instead of saying that it's been several days that you came to Mongolia, how about if you wanted to say, oh yeah, so it's been 2 days after I came here, right? So here could mean anything. So if you wanted to say it that way, you can say Би энд ирээд 5 хонож байна. Би энд ирээд 5 хонож байна. So be is I, end is here, tau is 5, honoj ben means it's been. So notice that also there's no 5 days, like we're removing the days because we're assuming, because tau honach means it's been 5 nights already, so it's already assumed in the sentence, so that's why we're not saying the day word in the Mongolian sentence. So bi indiret tau honoj ben. Bi indiret tau honoj ben. Alright, so now that we said how many days it's been, you might want to say why you're here. In English, you say, oh, I'm here for my vacation, or you can say, oh, I'm here for business, for work. So let's learn how to say these two sentences. So if you were there for vacation, you could say, Monголд би амралтаараа ирсэн. Monголд би амралтаараа ирсэн. So Mongold is obviously in Mongolia. Bi is I. Amrалтаараа means for vacation. Irsen means came in the past tense. So amrалтаараа is a longer word with all the added ends that includes the from and for vacation. So irsen is come. Mongold bi amrалтаараа irsen. Literally, the sentence structure is like Mongolia, I, for vacation, came. So Mongold би амралтаараа ирсэн. What if you came for your business or for work? So you just swap the word for vacation for business, right, in English. So it's pretty much the same in Mongolian. You'll just say Mongold би ажиллаар ирсэн. Mongold би ажиллаар ирсэн. So the new word here, ажиллаар, means for business. You can say business ажиллаар also, like a business work. That's what it means. But ажиллаар would suffice the meaning of for business. So you could say Monголд би ажиллаар ирсэн, or Monголд би амралтаараа ирсэн. Alright. So now that you've said that, if you said that you came for business, you might want to introduce what you do for work. So if that comes to a case, there are several ways to introduce what you do for work. One way to say it is that my profession is such and such. So in Mongolia, you would say B blank mirigchilte. So you would fill out the blank with your actual profession. Let's say John does engineering. So John can say B engineer mirigchilte. B engineer mirigchilte. So B is I, engineer is our engineering, and mirigchilte means my profession. So mirigchilte, the te at the end means have a profession, literally in Mongolian, but it would mean that this is my profession. I own this profession, right? So B engineer mirigchilte. If you were a teacher, you would say B baksh mirigchilte. Baksh means teacher, and you can use Google Translate or Bollar dictionary. You can look up bollar-toli.com, and I will include this in the podcast note, and you can look up your profession and fill out this blank. So B engineer mirigchilte, and you would replace engineer with whatever profession you have. Or there's another way to say what you do for work. So Mongolian is an interesting language where the noun, if there's another added ending, it could turn into a verb. So for example, if you are a teacher, you can say I teach, and that would just be enough to say, or equivalent of saying I'm a teacher. So the word teach is bakslach, and it comes from the noun teacher, baksh. You know, notice the difference in English. You have the word teach, and then you add er, and it's a noun, and it's a teacher, and it's the name for the profession. But in Mongolian, for this word, for example, it's the other way around. So baksh, the noun, is the root word, and bakshlach, with that added ending, now that's the verb representing what teachers do, which is teach. So you can say bi bakshiltak, bi bakshiltak. So that's just a quick and easy way to say I teach. Or you can say I do teaching, which is an interesting way to say it, but in Mongolian sometimes it sounds slightly more common and better. So in order to say I do teaching, the word do, hich, can be added. So instead of saying bi bakshiltak, which means I teach, you can say bi bakshi ajil hitak, or bi baksh hitak. So that means I do teaching. I do teaching could be bi baksh hitak. So you can replace the word baksh, which is the noun, and you can replace it with whatever profession. So if you wanted to say I do engineering, you can say bi engineer hitak. So today we learned how to say our name, where we're from, say nice to meet you, it's been several days since you came here, and the purpose of your trip. And for bonus, introducing your profession to someone new that you're meeting. So just to wrap up, let me repeat everything I said. Sano namag jong gidig. Би Америкаас ирсэн. Тантай танилцсандаа таатай байна. Би Монголд ирээд 5 хонож байна. Монголд амралтаараа ирсэн. Би инженер мэргэжилтэй. Alright. Thank you everyone, and don't forget to check the podcast note for the summary of everything I said on this episode, and see you guys in the next one. Bye.